Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. You know, I was walking down the aisles of the video store when I noticed something I haven't seen in years. Cartoon All-Stars to the rescue. Immediately a pool of disappointing memories came flooding back to me and I just knew I had to see this piece of shit again. Now for those of you who don't remember the special, I'll give you the skinny. Usually some clips from the special would play here, but seeing how my copy died a long time ago, I'm just gonna move on without it.
Critic.
Yeah?
What are you doing?
Isn't it great? I'm recreating the glory days of my first review!
But you're missing one of the most important elements. It's only half a review without it.
No, it's okay. I've thought about that. You see, I fill in the void by replacing it with a bunch of other critics. Like Black Critic, Little Kid Critic, Animated Kitten Critic, Sexy Female Critic, Invisible Critic, who might just be a wall, and of course, Cameo Critic.
It's a living! Was this a fan request or something?
No, that's the great thing about it. Nobody wanted to see it, and now it's here for everybody to witness.
Critic, how can anyone enjoy a recreation that only has half of what made it good, forceful comedic sidekicks, practically nothing new to offer, and wasn't something that the fan base ever demanded in the first place to begin with?
I think they get the idea.
All right.
Blues Brothers 2000. Based on the classic SNL Chicago musical about two blues musicians trying to save an orphanage and somehow end up becoming the most wanted men in America, the sequel, shot 18 years later, is kind of like that, minus the enjoyment. It's a desperate retread between writer-actor Dan Aykroyd and writer-director John Landis to relive the glory days by somehow bringing us none of the glory. As such, it's said to be one of the most pointless, underwhelming, and just downright bizarre sequels in comedy history. And trust me, that's saying a great deal. So let's see what's wrong with the past by getting out of the past. This is Blues Brothers 2000.
Tell me who's out right now, John the Revelator.
At first, the opening number seems legitimately subtle and even kind of atmospheric. But this movie is like Huntington's disease. It works very slowly.
Good morning, Warden. Tom?
Frank Oz plays one of the many returning cast members who just looks old and sad now as he tells Elwood about his brother Jake's departure. You got no plot, you got no comedy, you don't even have the other Blues Brother. Unless you have an entertaining sock puppet under your hat, count me the fuck out of this. So after finding out about his drug overdose in prison, a friend of a friend pops by to pick him up a mere 24 hours later. Hey, better late than never, or as you'll constantly say in this movie, better never than ever.
Matara, you drop me off here, please.
So he drops by the nun from the previous installment to tell you who else died since the first film you saw.
Curtis has gone on as well, Elwood. I'm sorry.
The orphanage is gone, Jake's gone, Curtis is gone. I got no brother, I got no roots, I got no life, I got nothing for Christ's sake.
And yet you're still making a movie. See the problem here? By the way, isn't it good to know that the orphanage is gone too? That everything the first film was working for was completely in vain?
He was very upset when the orphanage closed.
Maybe that whole intro where God was giving light to Jake was actually supposed to be saying,
Have you seen the light? Yes! Yes! Jesus!
What? No, actually I was aiming for the person in the front row. Yes, that person. I demand you to put Nicolas Cage in a Left Behind movie. There, thy will and totally confusing ways are done. You two, you just get a shitty sequel. Goodbye.
Bullshit.
But it's okay, because they bring in the obvious target audience this movie was meant for.
Young Buster here is a ward of the state. The Archdiocese has agreed to house homeless children here. I thought perhaps that you would come and spend time with Buster.
Yes, because nothing makes more sense than teaming up an innocent youth with a convicted felon who literally just got done serving 20 years in jail.
Bullshit.
Something else you'll notice is that while Aykroyd's Chicago accent in the original was playfully exaggerated, this accent sounds like it's coming from a fucking Muppet.
Chicago, I think you need a hug. Who wants to know? What boat? She's bone dry. A part of this band's repertoire. What's that got to do with me?
Hey, hot dogs, the Bears, pizza that had to make Jon Stewart accept defeat. Oh yeah, we're still riding that. But the kid is not so easy to get rid of.
I know what you're going through. you're lonely, searching for your place in life, just don't blow it like I did. Besides, you don't want to hang around with some over 40 recidivist.
You know, I wonder if I'm even needed for this review. The movie does quite well pointing out all the problems itself. He discovers that Curtis had a son, played by Joe Morton, who apparently has no idea that Curtis was his father. Elwood talks about reuniting the band, but his kind of brother doesn't take it very well.
And don't ever come back here again!
You got no plot, you got no comedy, you don't even have the other Blues Brother. Unless you have a role for me in Terminator 12, count me the fuck out of this.
But the kid steals the commander's wallet, giving them just enough money to buy a new Bluesmobile. Now, I want you to remember this moment where he steals the wallet. I'm not gonna explain why yet, but just keep it in the back of your brain. Elwood goes to the club his old band member owns where, look at that. Clearly we see a new addition to the Blues Brother. Oh, not because he's played by John Goodman, not because he can sing the blues, not because they've made countless appearances together years before, but because of the astounding chemistry and unforgettable character traits that this movie gives him that, dare I say it, even rival that of Belushi. Watch this.
Hi.
And there you go. That's all the character you need, folks. Don't believe me? Well, they top it with even more incredible character traits. Like there's this.
Hey, Elwood, you got the keys to the trunk?
The unbelievable this.
Pleased to meet you.
And of course, who can forget the classic line?
So what's the plan?
God, that is so whatever his character's name is. It doesn't matter if they barely look each other in the face or hardly ever have a conversation. The magic is there. God, they have more chemistry than HAL 9000 and Stephen Hawking.
Hey Hal, pick 2.
1, 2.
You will now have to imagine I am poking you in the eyes, causing a humorous effect.
Nyuk, nyuk.
But it turns out the club is being shook down by Illinois Russians. Yeah, that's right. Illinois Russians. God, that doesn't have nearly the same flair as Illinois Nazis.
Oy, Maros, Maros, nie Maros, Mia.
Jesus Christ, you're making Soda Popinski look like an equal rights leader. So they knock the Russians out and leave him in an alleyway, somehow thinking this won't lead to any more trouble. But lo and behold, the Russians come back for vengeance.
Yes!
They break out of the club while the Russians burn it down, only to find the Russians were waiting to chase them.
Roll down your window, bump the nails.
Wow, apparently those nails are so powerful they launched them several feet behind where they originally started. Seriously, how the hell did they get back in front of the club again? Was there a special company that made those nails? Oh. So Aykroyd and Goodman set out to pick up the rest of their band members when nope, you killed the movie. You killed the movie. Whatever little speck of chance you had to make this entertaining, it was assassinated the minute you put that kid in a suit. This is like giving Wolverine a puppy, or Jules Winfield a Martian, or the Terminator. Oh yeah, that happened.
These are unsophisticated men. The only things they respond to are fear and the draw of lucre. We elicit this by using iconographic symbols and psychological intimidation.
Okay, I'm really amazed you're saying all this stuff about intimidation while including the 10-year-old kid in your argument.
The only things they respond to are fear and the draw of lucre.
With a 10-year-old kid.
Iconographic symbols and psychological intimidation.
With a 10-year-old kid.
Presents a uniform image of strength and organization.
With a 10-year-old kid.
Don't say anything, look mean.
With a 10-year-old kid. Do you not see what a castration this is to your film?
Boys, I'd like you to meet my new partner in the act, Mighty Mac.
We've just been calling him Jake number 2.
I'm getting the band back together.
Man, you can't talk about this stuff here.
Matt, she's back from lunch.
But sure enough, they're working again for an Aretha Franklin cameo, and once again, they have to argue their way out of it while she blindly goes into a song.
You treat me with respect at all times.
I do, baby.
And you know what I mean when I say respect.
You know, where the first movie was kind of funny and how out of nowhere and unexpected the transition was, in this one, you obviously know it's coming, you even know what song it's going to be, and yet the transition is still sloppy as fucking shit. It's almost like somebody hit the screen accidentally changing the channel. Oh, sorry.
You know what I mean.
There's no surprise to it anymore. We know they're just gonna join the band like last time, so all we have is a slower, less energized version of the scene we saw in the first flick. This is like watching Grandma say she can still strut her stuff and you shutting your eyes as she disturbingly tries to swing her hips in a sexy fashion. Just serve the potatoes already, Grandma!
Matt, this is something that I really don't want you to do. Ah, for crying out loud. If this is what you're gonna be like to live with, go ahead.
I mean, Jesus, you got no plot, you got no comedy, you don't even have the other Blues Brother. Unless you have a well-paying Pepsi commercial to offer me, count me the fuck out of this.
They get back the other members of the band, who, again, demonstrate some killer acting chops.
Hey, fellas, I think I know that voice.
Steve, you know, I think that sounded a lot like
Elwood J. Blues.
No place to run
and no place to hide.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that paint drying? I confused the two on levels of engagement. And they finally have to get their last member back from his old job.
We need Murph on the keyboards.
I see.
I told him I wouldn't go without your say-so.
Just what is it that you do exactly?
And if you could sing about it, even though we just had a goddamn musical number a minute ago, that'd be most helpful. Why do these musical numbers annoy me so much more in this film than they did in the last one? They're not bad. They're good renditions done by talented people. Even Macaulay Culkin seems to get a solo, but there's just no damn spacing between them. They just go from one song that has nothing to do with anything to another song that has nothing to do with anything. The music in the original didn't have much connection to the story either, but at least there was a homicidal fiance, car chases, funny cops, fucking Illinois Nazis. That's enough to fill in the gaps. What do we have to fill in the gaps in this one?
I haven't played a county fair since '68.
sounds like a lot of laughs.
Didn't you used to be Elwood Blues?
Yeah, so?
We're rehearsing just on the other side of the motel office. It would be so cool if you could come listen to us play.
Sure.
Fuck me with tuna, we just got done with a song! Are we really gonna do 3 in a row? Even waterboarders give their victims a break every once in a while.
Let's have all!
Oh, look at that. Our characters so don't care how the song works into the movie that they don't even stick around to hear them. The movie itself is that not interested in its own musical numbers. Why don't we just have the rest of the movie be a runaway letter from Dan Aykroyd saying,
you know guys, I just don't care. I might do a little singing here or there and maybe my cartoon character Chicago accent, but frankly, I don't give a shit. Dinner's in the freezer, tell your mom I love her. Dan.
On top of that, the musical numbers were in between a spiritual quest, a very bizarre redemption involving putting the band back together to earnestly and honestly raise money to protect their childhood home. That's one of the reasons there's so much urgency for the band members to leave their dead-end crappy jobs and do what's right. In this one, have you noticed something missing? Something kind of a big deal? There is no reason to put the band back together. None! At all! They all have good jobs that pay well and even rekindled old romances that seem to be working out pretty well. Why the fuck would any of them leave this behind? There is nothing to fight for, nothing to chase, nothing to gain redemption. They're stressing the importance of putting the band back together even though they forgot to mention what was fucking important about it. In the first film, the phrase was,
"We're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God."
Now in this one, the phrase is,
"The Lord works in mysterious ways. The Lord works in mysterious ways. The Lord works in mysterious ways."
Yeah, so mysterious that you took 18 years to work on a sequel that somehow you forgot to give a reason for even fucking existing. It's kind of important for a film to have a reason to fucking exist. Especially when it's a sequel to something as goddamn awesome as the Blues Brothers. Fuck it, I need a break. Here's the only thing certain after death, taxes, and everything you love either getting a shitty sequel or a shitty remake. Commercials.
Tired of a movie giving you an unbelievable experience, only to find years later the same filmmakers fuck it up with their shitty sequel or spin-off?
Well, fear no more, because we've invented Fuck It All. Now you can stop caring about a movie series you once loved by acknowledging it probably wasn't that important to begin with.
Can you believe the person who directed Alien did this?
Sure.
It makes no sense and pales in comparison to the original.
Whatever.
Hey, if I didn't know any better, I'd say you didn't think this was a big deal.
I don't. It's only a movie.
What?
I used to be emotionally invested in what I watched, but now, the more I think about it, maybe Joseph Gordon-Levitt should play Robin.
No!
Maybe The Hobbit did need all those extra scenes.
You're insane!
Maybe midichlorians aren't such a bad idea.
Wake up, damn it! Don't go where I can't follow!
With a heavy enough dose, you'll forget all about Sofia Coppola in Godfather, Emo Peter in Spider-Man, and all pretentious dialogue from the Matrix movies.
Keep it together! Keep it together!
Fuck it all. Because it doesn't matter if one of the Blues Brothers is a little kid. Or John Goodman. Or Plotless. Or has a car that can do anything, because, you know, who cares? Who cares at all that it's a timeless classic, the original? Yeah, who cares that we just want to fuck it up? I mean, we just want to totally destroy it because, you know, it's just the Blues Brothers. It doesn't matter that it's a Chicago icon. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
Excuse me, can we call 911 or something?
No, I want to get this off my back. I want to get this off my back. The Blues Brothers is just this big symbol of Chicago, and it's funny, and it's creative, and it's musical, and it's fantastic. And when they tried to just half-ass it like this, come with me. Let me show you something. This is Hollywood Boulevard Theater. It's a good place you can get alcohol while watching your movies, which you'll definitely need for this film. But you notice what's on top of there? The Bluesmobile. And not just a Bluesmobile, a statue of one of the Blues Brothers, Dan Aykroyd. They put a fucking car on top of a movie theater. You wanna know why? Because the movie means that much to them. It means that much to Chicago. It's an incredible film. The music, the action, the comedy, the writing, it's so fucking unbelievable. And for you, after they made a goddamn statue out of you, Dan Aykroyd, just make this insult, this fucking insult to this goddamn classic masterpiece. I'm sorry, it's despicable. It's fucking despicable. That's what the Blues Brothers means. That's what they're all about. And for this movie to not even fucking try to acknowledge what the hell they are and what the hell they meant, it's just bullshit. No, I'm not even doing a transition. I'm just going back to saying what's fucking wrong with it. Apparently something resembling a plot tries to rear its ugly head in the second half, as Sister Conan O'Brien, Tom Brokaw, and the secretary from Ferris Bueller's Day Off inform the Holy Mother that they think Elwood has kidnapped the boy. Of course, rather than just explain he's not kidnapping him, though the more I think about it, maybe he kind of fucking is, they instead have to stage a getaway out of a diner filled with cops.
He's having an attack! It's extremely contagious!
What is Sam here?
Run away! Oh,
of course, the old look like a minion from Mario 2, which will cause the police to do nothing for some reason, allowing you to go into your car and spin around for a solid minute or 3, also causing the police to do nothing for some reason and then take off driving. Ingenious? But it's okay, because they brought in more people on this case. Ones that don't just stare blindly at tricks that wouldn't fool a kindergarten class.
I have every lawman in 2 states on this border. Let him just try and get through this roadblock.
I do hope my pompous declaration of righteousness is by no means comedically foiled. But hey, it's the Blues Brothers. I'm sure they have some awesome driving skills that result in a kick-ass chase scene or this bullshit. You sure Elwood isn't in a coma and these aren't just the dreams he was having in the coma? Not that the film isn't tragic enough for how much pain it's causing, but at least we would know somebody's suffering for it. They come across, I don't know, Indiana Nazis, who of course foil their plans of being Indiana Nazis by apparently lifting their boat of explosives out of the water and quite literally watch it just jump up into the air by no discernible rhyme or reason.
Did you hear something? Nope.
Funny. Neither do I. So they find a way to sneak into their next gig. A hidden Elwood tells them to find a place to park and... Wait a minute! No, stop. I'm sorry, I have to check for my own clarification if they really cared so little. Let's go back again. They sneak into a gig, Elwood tells them to find a place to park, and is there anything, fucking anything that shows how they randomly got in a flaming car spinning on a loop? Right? This film has been edited for your viewing confusion. Hell, the advertising for this movie should just be, tired of the world making sense? Blues Brothers 2000. And everybody would say, yeah, humanity did lose its fucking mind, didn't it? Of course, they start playing their next song to the audience's delight.
When all at once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows she saw, plowing through the ragged
Oh, good. Hopefully God has come to destroy this movie before it gets any worse.
Riders in the sky. Ghost riders in the sky.
You know, I was gonna ask when did they stop making a Blues Brothers movie, but I don't think that question would be appropriate. I think the real question is, when did they ever start making a Blues Brothers movie? What the hell is this? It's not Blues Brothers. Maybe it's fucking Claymation's Blues Brothers, but it's not the Blues Brothers we grew up with. This is just dumb. Random and fucking dumb. It's like suddenly going... Goes Pony Rider, goes Pony Rider. His head is flaming, but his story's tragic, cause he never knew friendship was magic. Goes Pony Rider.
Critic. Wait, didn't you do this joke before?
Look, I don't know the scientific explanation for it, but for some reason, every single time somebody says pony on the internet, the views go through the roof.
They do?
Yeah, watch. Pony.
Pony?
Pony. So it starts raining, which of course somehow doesn't affect any of their equipment. And Elwood uses his remote-controlled car... Yeah, because the Bluesmobile was made by fucking Batman, I guess. And helps them escape. The team, however, has very low morale, due to the fact that they have no goddamn idea what the hell they're supposed to be doing in this movie.
Hey, Elwood. I think we got a rebellion on our hands.
Why? What do you mean?
You got no plot, you got no comedy, and you don't even have the other Blues Brother. Unless you're willing to split stock on Crystal Head vodka, count us the fuck out of this.
Fine. Bye.
Elwood himself starts to feel a little down, but the kid comes in for almost 1 minute of inspiration.
The Elwood Blues I know once said that no pharmaceutical product could ever equal the rush you get when the band hits that groove.
Again, I'm gonna ask you to remember this scene. I'm gonna bring it all together in the end. That seems to work, and they happen to come across an old friend in a tent church played by James Brown. This whole film is like a mix between a sad high school reunion and an old folks' home. It's like the worst of both worlds.
Those men are criminals and they're under arrest.
The commander comes in about to arrest them, but just like before, somebody's about to see the light. Now in the original, a light shines on Jake in a comedically over-the-top way. Well, if that was over the top, this is pole vaulting over the fucking moon.
Calling of the blood. Yes. This is my destiny!
You know, I'm just gonna try something here. I'm sure you've all played this game before, Cards Against Humanity. They have an online version. If you haven't, you should. It's fun. Bring the kids. I am so convinced that this movie is so batshit insane and so doesn't care what the hell they put on screen that I'm just gonna choose 3 random cards and see if that randomness, that totally out there randomness, matches up with the rest of the shit that this movie gives us. So, let's see. A 130-year-old voodoo witch, zombies, rednecks being turned into rats. You know, I'm gonna give this movie the benefit of the doubt. I don't even believe that this film, with all its batshit craziness, they did it, didn't they?
She's a 130-year-old voodoo witch.
What are you doing? No, seriously, what the fuck are you doing? I don't get it. I really don't. None of this adds up in the least. It's like you're trying to piss off the people who love the first film so much. Why? No, really, why are you trying to piss us off? Are you trying to atone for something? Are you trying to tie it back to a mistake you made in the past? Is there something you fucked up before and you're trying to somehow make things right by making this goddamn stupid? Oh my god, I figured it out. I just figured it out! The crazy scenarios, the magical crap, having nothing to do with the original. The fact that doesn't make any goddamn sense whatsoever! I got it! I finally got it! They were trying to make a live-action version of the video game. Think about it. Every hit movie needs a game, and clearly the game had nothing to do with the original, so they were trying to tie them together so that they wouldn't have to make another game. God, I see it now.
Have you seen the light?
I see it! I see it!
Do you see the light?
Yes! Yes! Jesus H. Jesus Christ! I see the light! You guys are fucking morons! Not only does it make for a bad game, but it makes for an even worse film. As once they appease the 130-year-old voodoo witch, God, it's canon! And gets themselves into the band, along with the commander, by the way, the cops still come to try and take them away.
I guess it's time to say goodbye.
They think he kidnapped you.
But they're wrong.
It would be hard to convince them of that.
Well, if I go back with them, they'll put me in some foster home with people who don't love me, and I'll never see you again. And we'll both be sad forever.
Okay, this is what I was getting to before. Remember why I told you to remember that one scene that was only a few seconds long of the kid stealing the wallet? And remember why I told you to remember that other scene where the kid motivates Elwood and that was only over a minute long? Well, those two scenes are actually more important than you think. I know you thought they were just pointless little scenes, one only being a few seconds long and one only being over a minute. I mean, how long is the movie? 2 hours? What big difference can that make? But actually, it makes a huge difference. A huge fucking difference. And you wanna know why? Because those two short little scenes, as despicably short as they are literally the only things the kid has done throughout the entire film. Oh sure, he dances a bit, wears a suit, even plays a harmonica, but in terms of contributing to anything else, I mean like anything in the story, any kind of character traits, any kind of personality, nada. Not a thing. He barely even says a word throughout the entire film, or looks Elwood in the eye. A 2-hour movie, and he has a minute and a half of worth. So, at this big scene where you're supposed to want to see them together, it literally makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. This completely ridiculous visual to the Blues Brothers story was entirely pointless. Pretty fucking amazing.
The Lord does work in mysterious ways, Elwood.
Yep.
Bullshit.
Put on your seatbelt.
The only thing we can hope is that all that wasted time, all that lack of character, all those lazy jokes, at least have been sacrificed for one hell of an epic climax. You're fucking kidding me. You're goddamn fucking kidding me. That was the end of the movie? That was the end of the movie? Did you see the first film that you apparently made? Did you even take a glance at it before you made this piece of... If you don't recall how the first film ended, I'll give you a little reminder. It had... And... And you have...
Put on your seatbelt.
Movie, I'm not angry.
Yes, I am. I'm furious. But there's something I'm even more. And that's disappointed. I'm disappointed in you, movie. The same people that brought us a comedy classic, an icon, something they make statues of, has 18 years to put together a follow-up. And this is what we get. May God rape you with a pickup truck. Slowly. With vengeance.
I'm serious, people. It's bad. It's really, really, really bad. As a standalone movie, it would make no sense. As a sequel, it makes even less sense. It is absolutely one of the worst follow-ups to a classic ever. And if you're wondering if there's anything of value, even the smallest, tiniest, teeny-weeniest little thing, actually the soundtrack's not bad. I mean that too. For all its problems, every single singer in this movie, even our leads, sings some really good, surprisingly impressive renditions of timeless classics. It's strangely kind of impressive. Hell, I might actually pick it up after removing this film's cock from my anus. But aside from that, this is not only one of the most pointless sequels ever made, it's one of the worst. It's one of the worst because talented people, the same who made a fantastic, hilarious, unique, musical classic, so obviously phoned in this half-assed reunion just so they can all sing some karaoke together. It's a straight-up insult to the first film, and I can assure you, these statues you see of the Blues Brothers don't exist for this piece of shit. They exist for something smarter, funnier, and just all around better. And the fact that this is connected to it, I need my fuck it all. I'm the Nostalgia Critic, and hopefully in a few minutes I won't remember who I am. Jesus shit!